It's day 24 of my As a Bag of Hammers playthrough of Encased with my beautiful idiot here. I just slept in a bed that I don't own because they didn't lock the door well enough. Back in Junktown, and I am to find. They still haven't cleaned up these bodies. I'm pretty sure we took them out quite some time ago. I'm looking for an elevator, and you know what? Memory serves, it's actually right up here. I think I might have come up here before. Jeez, that would have been a long time ago. You guys go ahead and stay down here. I don't remember if it was in this playthrough or my previous playthrough. I think I might have gotten killed on this walkway before. What do we have? Oh, there's our Sheelite fiber. Ow. So Magellan is merely a skip away from Junktown. I am to jam Zemex's disk into one of these mainframes to download, I don't know. I wasn't entirely, oh, the staff register, that's right. My character usually interacts with computers by pressing every button that shows up, so there will probably be an awful lot of that. Now, luckily with this one I didn't have to move any dead rats around to find the option to insert the floppy disk that Zemeckis gave you and see what happens. You struggle with the drive for some time. The floppy disk doesn't want to go in, even when you push on it with your knee. On the third attempt, you finally realize that you need to flip it over. The floppy disk disappears inside the device. Whatever program is written on the disk reports the target database has been found, and then starts copying it, with a distinct whirring sound. A chubby little administrator runs up to you. What are you doing? What are you copying? That data belongs to the new committee. Lean against the server and whistle to drown out the drive noise. The blue clutches his head in unfeigned horror. That's a Phalanx sniffer. You're downloading data for Zemeckis. You can't do that. He scratches himself nervously. I'm sorry, you don't work for Phalanx, do you? You don't care what's in the database. You just need to deliver something, right? I could change something in it. May I? Not. Let him do his nerdy nerd things. Nerdily. The administrator's hands begin to fly over the keyboard. You can see his database subtly altering. Its lines jump up or down, the cards being shuffled. He turns to you again. This program doesn't verify the checksum, so Zemeckis will never know he's been given the wrong database. Okay? Now my character wouldn't actually be clear on what any of that meant anyway, so I don't think Zemeckis could fault me for it. So after trek the entire distance of the map with 2 merchants that didn't need anything and a pack of wolpers which put up no fuss, we are back at the Phalanx.
You again.
Let's see. Tell me you have something. You have electrical equipment. That's not nothing. Polymorphic, whatever it's called. Wasn't exactly what I was looking for, but it's something. We might not wind up getting level 10 weapons before the end of the game for Fox. We'll at least be able to get a couple of upgrades for her. Decent 7s or 8s. So we got a disc for you.
Hieronymus smiles cordially.
It's always a pleasure to see you.
Here you go.
Hieronymus stashes the disc in his pocket.
I'll say this. The new committee won't like what we did today. But I don't care. I'm offering talented professionals new opportunities with excellent working conditions.
He claps his hands, smiling.
That's it. Congratulations. The deal is done. You get the trucks. Say hello to Nakamura for me.
And we'll head off with the clown steps. On our way from the Phalanx to Carmine Heights, the wheels of our car rustle against the cracked wasteland. The sky is reflected in the salt lake, getting closer to you. Looking closely, you notice some strange movement nearby. When you slow down, you park the car at a safe distance. You're pondering what to do. Anomalous heat. -4 perception, which will affect Yoko, and -4 brains, which will affect, well, let's be honest, none of us. What do we have? Hyenas. Are these the dogs with guns? They're the dogs with guns. How do we want to handle this? Hey, Yoko, let's get started with you. Shoot that guy. And shoot him again. And shoot him again. These pellets are so cheap that... Oh, really? Since when does Eiley have the highest initiative roll? Well, I'm not going to complain. You want to go for the one with the gun? Well, they all have guns. Apparently, all these hyenas have guns. Let's go for the one up here first. In retrospect, this was probably not the best choice because now I'll have to get back down. But, you know, I'm here. How is that the wrong target? There we go. And you can get down there. You can't do the leap thing. So let's move here. And I should get out of stealth, because I don't want this thing running past and attacking Yoko. And now Fox. You're wearing the wrong gloves for Energize, so I'll worry about that after. Use the pyrokinetic gloves. Is that what they're called? Pyrokinetic? These don't have as many gimmicks as the other ones, but what they do have is a very low amount of AP per attack. I was kind of hoping that they would all just come to me, but that's easy enough to make happen. I would just get right in the thick of it, aggro them all. We're best off with just one big hit. I want Fox using her melee weapon, ideally. She can use the pyrokinetic on the way up. I didn't just shoot Eiley, did I? I think I just shot Eiley. Yep, I just shot Eiley. Yeah, so Yoko we can get you up on the platform. Now, is there anything she can shoot with 3? No, just get into a kneeling position. These guys have enough AP to get close, but not enough AP to attack, which is the absolute wrong way to to deal with a party like mine. And since one might not kill it, okay, well. Now Fox, you're in a position to just start attacking, so we are going to use our melee weapon. Kill it in one hit. I think the dart gun has a poison effect to it. Unfortunately, I don't have enough AP to shoot it twice. We'll put poison on the far one. Ooh, one of them got an attack in. Which makes him the second most dangerous thing to my team after myself. Fox, let's see, can you finish these guys off? Finish that one off. Now, I hope I can get Fox's weapon leveled up. This thing is doing tons of damage. Yoko, let's do the same thing again. Hit him with a dart, and looks like Eiley gets a level up out of that deal. Make sure you reload before I forget, because I will and often do forget. Unfortunately, 25 skill points does not actually move us anywhere, so this is kind of a nothing level up. Oh, I had not collected that one before. Anomaly number 666. Now, last time I was in Carmine Heights, I did rob the place something brutal. So here's hoping they've forgotten. I have, well, I don't know if I'd call it good news.
Hello again.
She looks at you expectantly. Do I have to squeeze it out of you? What's with the plane? Well, here's the watch. She warily examines the watch in your outstretched hand. I didn't recognize it at first, but yes, that's the one. She takes the watch from your hands. I don't think it can be fixed, but I can show it to Holden anyway. Thanks. We'll turn in the mission. You report in detail what you saw near El Dorado, the fops who stormed the aircraft, the unexpected cave right under the cockpit, dead scientists, and the relic brutes. So the signals, they were sent by this anomaly? And the scientists who went down there are all dead? Well, fuck. Good thing I didn't go myself. She pauses for a long while, pondering her story. Why is the pilot guarding a pharmacy? Instead of answering, the girl looks up and scans the area, looking from side to side. She doesn't seem to see you. What is she doing? I'm looking for airplanes, just in case. Maybe there's still a few of them flying around here somewhere. Who knows? She mockingly answers. I'm not gonna threaten her for telling a joke. I am gonna, unfortunately, find that she has nothing for sale. And I'm guessing you have nothing for sale because I robbed you blind last time.
What do you need? Later.
Fox doesn't have time to leave. Rosilia Mills stops her, literally catching her by the arm. Daria shrinks and hisses furiously from under her mask. Daria? Did we know her name was Daria? Rosalia Mills frowns indignantly. You should be put right away where you should be. But first I want to talk to you about your commanding officer. Raise an imaginary hat and say, Bonjour, showing that you are ready to negotiate. What's going on here?
Speak quickly.
Negotiations fail. Witnessing your monkey antics, Rosalia Mills recoils in horror. Shit, security, security! Swing your arms and cry, security, security, too! Guard approaches you soon, attracted by the disturbance.
I hope to see you again soon.
Speak quickly.
I have no idea what's going on here. Um, does she remember that I robbed her, but she thinks it was Fox that did it? A heavy leather-gloved hand rests on your shoulder. Listen here, Yellow Badge. This time I'll give you a warning. Next time you'll get hurt. She looks at you sternly and disdainfully. So this is Daria. I am so confused here. We'll babble apologies while chewing on our sleeve, and then she'll respond with a short laugh and tell us to get out of here and don't cause any more mischief.
I hope we won't see
Okay.
you again.
I've picked up the junk you need to finish this thing. Well, I say that, and then I look at it again. I'm guessing whatever I have in my pocket is probably not going to be enough, but here you go.
again.
Wave a piece of sheelite fiber in the air. That's great. We can already prepare for the test. Hand him the fiber. Too bad we're not up to factory quality yet. Since you already gave Robin the icebreaker, let's get to the suit. No point delaying, right? Slap myself on the butt and move away. Let's have a peek. With a hydraulic hum, the rack descends and the massive restraints move to either side, raising the exoskeleton's breastplate and allowing access to its interior. After carefully measuring the icebreaker, Robin inserts it into a slot in the servoshell's chest plate. Turning the regulator all the way up, Hellworth powers the system and the interior of the suit lights up with a hard, shimmering glow. The dosimeter in Todor's hands immediately starts to click. The device only falls silent when Gergiev wraps it with sheelite fiber. The experimenters look at each other in surprise. Seriously? Does your sheelite stop the radiation? Well, I'm glad that they're finding this out. I'm in this thing right now, right? Because it looks like it didn't. She looks at the relic, then at her colleague. He shrugs and scratches the bridge of his nose, confused. And it shouldn't. Although I... and it shouldn't. Although I have a theory. Turn down the amperage, would you? She reduces the power to the icebreaker, and its glow becomes steady and dim. Now that the relic isn't shining so bright, the reactive glow from the sheelite becomes clearly visible. Tudor, you ingenious son of a bitch. Or is it me who's the genius? Do you realize what we can do with this? He barely suppresses a laugh of triumph. What does all this mean? He grabs you excitedly by the hand. It means our hypotheses were not confirmed, but that's absolutely irrelevant, okay? We've discovered something entirely new, and in fact will help us make the ISO-suit truly efficient. So they just happened to discover something that was completely adjacent, but unrelated entirely to their intended discovery. Okay, well,
See ya.
move away and let them have this victory. Maybe she can explain it a little bit better to me?
Welcome back.
The next prototype will be completely different. We'll even do away with the servo shell and put everything in a little backpack. Possibilities are endless. Well, that's good to hear because, yeah, whatever you had going there was probably not going to do the trick. Hello, politicians of middling popularity. I have completed the thing.
Olivia stops primping her hair and smiles wryly.
Are you here to play cat? Please don't.
Meow.
Olivia apparently doesn't understand cat. Knitting her eyebrows angrily, she stomps her foot and points to a gray-haired man in blue overalls.
If you need anything, pester Johan.
Meow meow.
Johan looks reluctantly up from his notes.
Oh, it's you again. Sorry, I'm busy right now, or I'd definitely chat with you. Although, if this is about our common goal, we can talk. I'm listening.
He looks at you expectantly.
Expressively say, over. Summarizing the isosuit situation.
Johan gives you an awkward hug.
Thank you. Carmine Heights has high hopes for this suit, but unfortunately, that's not all.
He rubs his temples.
There's a problem with the water supply. We draw it from a salt lake and it runs through a distiller. Although we've got plenty of capacity, there are constant complaints that the pressure is only a trickle. Talk to some people and try adjusting the distiller settings on the mainframe. It's simple, really.
Well, clearly I am going to be the best possible person to deal with a water pressure problem.
Jesus, Johan, simple for whom? For a man with an engineering degree. Would you look at that face?
The blonde points at you for some reason.
Meow.
Oh, it's unbearable.
She violently throws up her hands and walks away.
Seriously.
Johan gives you a stern look.
She's got a point. Please try not to mess this up.
So they made it pretty clear that what I'm supposed to do is chat with everyone in town and figure out what's going on with the water problems. Naturally, what I'm going to do instead is sit down at this computer and press buttons until it starts working. In front of you is a primitive computer with a small two-color display and a simple control panel. The device's side panel is embossed with the rusty logo of a mermaid. The computer is responsible for water distribution at Carmine Heights. I'm glad we've made it that far. Angular black letters come up on the gray display. Select the intake and adjust the program using the manual switches. Current user, Nan. So it looks like we're going to have some fun options here. Tech 80, open the device and swap something. You remove a panel on the distillation device, swap some parts, turn the valves, and connect the unconnectable according to your unique artistic vision. Shockingly, the resulting monstrosity not only works, but seems to be working correctly. Walk away from the terminal, muttering fearfully. When I saw that answer, I was hoping I was going to get another rat swapping puzzle like we got in the power supply in Magellan, but no such luck today. We've got a simple tech check, and we passed it.
Johann is standing by his workbench, fiddling with a complicated device. The mechanism resembles the inside of a folding umbrella. This must be a maelstrom beacon.
So somehow, in a community full of scientists, I am the smartest person here, and I'm going to explain that by saying blah 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 blah, dancing in a tight circle and signifying the distiller is now set up.
Johann nods
You
appreciatively.
guys are
So I've been
idiots.
told. The farm's irrigation systems are running at full capacity, and everything's working in the lab, too. You did a great job. Thank you.
And don't ask me how I did it.
While you were dealing with Carmine Heights' troubles, I've been working on the beacons, and it's done. You can take them from the safe.
He takes a key from his pocket and
Why would
hands
he
it to
give me
you.
the key? Just open it up.
Johann grabs your sleeve.
I'd like to invite you to a family dinner, as a token of my gratitude. Will you come?
I would be so happy to join you and your lovely wife for dinner.
He shakes your hand.
Perfect. Come anytime. Olivia loves to cook, so it's no problem if you just drop in.
Recall the dinner invitation and lay down on the table since you wouldn't mind a bite.
An awkward smile flickers on the Blue's face.
Yes, Olivia will set the table shortly. But you need to get off it first.
You join Johann and Olivia at the wide table. Set out upon the light blue tablecloth are a white porcelain bowl of green soup with glassy onion rings, a scalded Atlas salad, roast beef and gravy, and fluffy white bread. The meal is almost a feast by Baron's standards and surprisingly abundant, considering that most of it is prepared from mutant lettuce. Sitting between you and her husband, Olivia takes Johann's left hand and your right.
Let us pray. Repeat after me. God bless this meal.
I like the repeat after me in there.
Johann sighs loudly.
Oh, pray for what, Olivia? For the dome, or maybe for Maelstrom to
You really gonna have this discussion in front
We're
of
doing
guests?
science here, not some religious shamanism.
The blonde laughs softly and elbows Johann.
But, honey, it's tradition. Of course, we all believe in science here. Okay, no prayer today. Let's eat.
So what exactly does believing in science mean?
Help yourself, please.
Olivia murmurs, serving you more salad.
You know I cook a lot. I'm good at it too, but Johann barely eats anything. He's always busy with his inventions and science. Well, that's common enough, I guess. More sauce?
Johann stops eating for a moment.
You know, I have to listen to this every single day. I don't think food should be fetishized, and dinner shouldn't be taken to mean gorging oneself. Dinner is an occasion to come together and talk. How did you spend your family gatherings?
So we could either meow at Olivia or make this really, really awkward. We'll say that we're an orphan, burst into tears, and wipe our face with salad.
Olivia presses her hand to her heart.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
No, you're not.
I remember my mom's hands. They were so thin, like a witch's.
Sure, we can make this about you.
She had a young face and old hands. She always kept them hidden. You know why that is. It's my father. He was slowly sucking life out of her like some vampire, but I never realized it until I myself got married.
She casts a meaningful glance at Johann, making him squirm.
This
At
was the
least
right
now you're
answer.
not pretending that we're not talking. Surely our guest's presence has a positive influence on you?
Olivia sets her fork aside and gives you a look of contentment.
As a child, I naturally didn't notice anything amiss about my parents. And yes, I loved my dad. Now I realize I was unconsciously looking for a companion exactly like him. And I found one. A too similar one, even. Just as serious, just as private, just as unable to listen. So similar, in fact, that
You guys are shitty people.
Johann noisily pushes his plate aside.
I think you're straying from the subject at hand. We were talking about traditions.
If you say
Olivia
so.
grins ruefully.
Oh, yes, I was describing our main tradition, which we both borrowed from our parents and brought to our own family. We're the same as them, and our marriage is like this because you, Johann, don't know how to negotiate. You don't know how to listen. You think everything aside from your work is insignificant. If that was only our concern, I'd endure it like I've been doing for many years now. But we have Carmine Heights, and it is about to crumble. Just because we can't agree on some things. God knows I didn't want to bring an outsider into this conversation, but since you are not listening
power
to me,
through it anyway.
maybe you'll listen to what the employee has to say.
She's looking at you, desperate for some support.
You know, I'm listening to this, and the first thing that comes to mind is I don't care. But the second thing that comes to mind is I don't really have a solution for these people after listening to them for 20 or 30 seconds. Although Johann being a degenerative embodiment of toxic sanguinity actually sounds right. And I don't mean in a video game or, a logic puzzle way. I mean, that actually sounds like what's going on. So we'll throw a salad at him and hope that that fixes everything.
Olivia shoots you a look of gratitude.
Really? You'd think that was overreacting a bit, but, if a food fight solves all your marital problems, maybe we should do that all the time.
Johann gazes dolefully down at his plate.
You said Ollie is trying to save the settlement in our family.
No, I didn't.
It never occurred to me
You
that
read a
things were
lot
so
into a
bad
bunch
we
of flying
needed saving.
lettuce.
She always says she loves me and that we can manage. I thought everything was basically okay.
He glances guiltily at his wife, and she answers him with a gentle smile. Johann sighs and looks over to you.
Whenever we quarreled, I always remembered my father telling me women are much more emotional than men. Sometimes they lose their temper, and this is often due to the menstrual cycle.
Danger,
or
Will Robinson,
other hormonal
danger.
fluctuations. And that's fine. But I guess things aren't fine after all.
No, and it might have something to do with your outlook here.
Johann turns and impulsively hugs Olivia, and she hugs him back.
I don't know what to say. Maybe I've been totally out of the loop. Maybe I really don't understand anything.
Pity we can't do both, but in our head we'll scoop up some more salad, put it in our pocket, and then leave by doing the coolest backflip. Oh, we got drunk out of the deal. Before we leave, because I was almost out the door without the beacons. That would have been embarrassing. Here we are, 3 Maelstrom beacon transmitters and a bunch. See, this is why he should have opened the safe himself and handed me the beacons, because, yeah, I'm taking your money. It's sitting right there. You moron. And that's coming from me. Through the dusty windshield, you see a man walking slowly along the road. His appearance is rather unusual. The man is wearing an old-fashioned Cronus uniform that looks surprisingly fresh and new. Hearing the engine noise, okay, so we're going to find a guy next to a pond. Lonely Traveler's Camp. Derek Raven.
Hi,
The stranger studies you suspiciously. His hand slices across his belt, feeling for the holster. You, stay where you are. Hands where I can see them. Derek Raven, Era's task force. Who are you? Where is everyone? Answer me. Okay, the guy's reaching for his gun, lashing out at him, waving our arms and squealing is just going to get us shot. I'm not quite sure what mimicking the noble ostrich and sticking our head in the sand is actually going to do, but we're going to find out. It was the perfect plan, yet it went awry. The ground is unexpectedly hard, and striking your head, you lose consciousness. When you awaken, the stranger is nowhere to be seen. Perhaps the ostrich method worked after all. We gained 238 experience for that. We have an armor merchant here. Let's see, Xenia Lamek, trade representative for the new committee. What do you have? Oh. Okay, so a cryogenic side glove. It's not the one I want, but I mean, I'm gonna buy it. She also had some really nice shoes. What I can do basically right away, I took a look and made sure of this. And there we go. We have a level 10 weapon for Fox now. So regular damage, not surprising. How many points? 5. Ouch. Cryostasis. It looks like it just freezes them into place. Why they couldn't just call it that, I don't know. Oh, it also takes away all their action points. That's rough. Okay, we can lower their defense and basically give them frostbite. Oh, and scare the living crap out of them. Alright, that's pretty good. Luckily, I caught myself before I got all the way there. I have to actually place these damn beacons before I head back to Henrietta. So, first off to the first settlers camp. So we have another trading post here. I just went and grabbed my inventory because this guy has another Colossus helmet, which is eminently better than the Nightwatch cap that I am wearing. So I can just go ahead and sell that to him. Yeah, go ahead. This also is both helmet and mask, whereas this is just helmet. So if I actually come across just a mask, I can drop that on Eiley instead. What has me worried is that while I do have a ton of, well, I guess you would call it equity in my my box here, in a pinch I might not be able to turn it all into cash. So what I'll want to do is make a bunch of stuff. I guess that's a little simple, isn't it? Make a bunch of stuff that I can potentially sell. Now, I see no reason why I wouldn't just make all the gunpowder. That's 77 reagent boxes. And frag grenades. Yeah, make all of them. And homemade grenades, which we can only make 2 of because we're out of nails. Molotovs, yeah, we can burn through all those matches. How many hand grenades has that resulted in? 15 of those, 76 of those. That is an arsenal and a half, so I could sell a whole bunch of those and still be sitting pretty. And now we have Fox sitting in a really good position. Yoko in a really good position. Eiley in a... We're basically endgame right here. All we could go for is some goggles for Eiley. I have no idea what those would be. You know what? Let's take 4 points of evasion off of Fox. We'll give her 10 points of defense instead. That's actually, that's definitely better suited for Fox. And then we'll put the weird looking mask on Eiley. So I'm back at the first settlers camp, which I cleared quite some time ago. You can see my remnants of my handiwork there. Okay, so I'm guessing that I have to place the beacon at the spinny thing that they conveniently left for me here. You stop in front of a small tripod stand covered in sand and ginger-colored dust. This thing is just the right place for placing a maelstrom beacon. Let's go ahead and do that. You unfold the beacon support struts and set it in the exact center of the site. A crimson LED starts flashing intermittently. Looks like the beacon is working and already picking up signals. Next up will be the beacons at the Nashville Observation Post and at Magellan. And also, I get the distinct impression that I'm going to be finalizing my builds and ending any remaining missions and closing up any conversations that I have with anyone, because we are very, very close to the end game here. But that will happen in the next episode, and I will see you then.